Dear students, today we are going to start with the kingdom Animalia. As you have already read that all the living organisms have been categorized into 5 kingdoms. 5 kingdoms are there. If we write these 5 kingdoms, these are Monera, fungi, protista, plantic, and Animalia. This that's regarding the bacteria, prokaryotes, fungi, the heterotrophic, protist, they are the acellular eukaryotes, plantae, that will include all the plants, autotrophic, and Animalia, these are multicellular eukaryotes, right? So, we are going to start with this kingdom Animalia. And in this kingdom Animalia, first of all, we'll be discussing the general characters, the various characters on the basis of which we classify them. Then we'll take up the different phyla, then their classes and examples. So, regarding the characters on the basis of which we classify the kingdom Animalia, the various characters we include, like the first can be the habitat, means the place of living. As per the habitat, the animals can be terrestrial, that means living on the land, or they can be aquatic. Aquatic means they will be in the fresh water, they can be in the fresh water, or they can be marine also. So that's regarding the habitat, place of living. Next we can take that's with the habits of the animals. Animals का nature क्या रहता है इसके साथ. Like habits, we can say that animals can be solitary. Solitary का मतलब हो गया living alone, singly. Like we can say hydra. Number of examples are there. Or they can be colonial, living in a colony. Living in a colony means number of them are living together and are helping each other. Like we can say there is a colony of the honeybees. We can say the colony of Obelia, Physalia. Then one more category is there. Gregarious. Gregarious also means living in the groups, but here they are just living in the groups. They are not helping each other. Like we can say locust. So that can be with the habits. Habits may more we can include, like the animal can be diurnal, animal can be nocturnal. Diurnal means more active during the daytime, और nocturnal का मतलब हो गया more active during the night time. Then the other characters can be like the body form. Body form means how the animal appears. This can be with respect to the shape of the animal, like the animal body can be sphere-like, spherical, or it can be cylindrical. Different type of shape can be there, or it's quite possible that the animal is not having a definite shape. So body form can differ, and depending upon the body form, next comes symmetry. Symmetry means whether the body is symmetrical or not, और कहने का मतलब हुआ कि whether we can divide the animal into two equal halves or not. In case we can divide the animal into two equal halves, means the body will be symmetrical. Like symmetry, that can also be a different type, like it can be spherical symmetry. Spherical symmetry means the animal is having the shape like that of a sphere, like जैसे कह सकते हैं फुटबॉल की तरह जैसे हो गया. And in order to divide them into two equal halves, the only condition is that the section must pass through the center of it. Means any section passing through the center of it, that's going to divide the animal into two equal halves. So that type of symmetry we can say spherical symmetry. Second is radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means where the animal can be divided into two equal halves by the section passing through the radius of it. That means this type of symmetry will be possible for animals having the cylindrical body. Like that's a cylindrical body. So any section passing along the radius like this, like this, like this. So any section passing along the radius of it, that's going to divide the animal into two equal halves. And it should be clear that as per the animals, those animals which are sessile, or we can say which are fixed to the substratum, for them this type of symmetry is advantageous. Why? Why this type of symmetry is advantageous? Because of this type of body shape and this type of symmetry, they can receive the food from any direction. Because being fixed, already availability of the food to such animal is limited. But because of this shape, they get the advantage that they can receive the food from any direction. Then the symmetry can be bilateral. Bilateral symmetry is present with the animals having the flat body. Flat body in the sense we can say those having dorsal, ventral, lateral sides. You know, different sides are there. Like the side which is facing the ground while moving. Whenever the animal is moving, the side which is facing the ground, that is always the ventral side. The opposite, dorsal. The side which is leading, that will be the anterior. The opposite will be the posterior. And these sides, which are on the lateral side, that will be the lateral side. Means the sides of the animals will be dorsal, ventral, anterior, posterior, and this one is lateral. Yes. So when we say bilateral symmetry, so only one section is possible that can divide the animal into two equal halves. Like we the human, we also have the bilateral symmetry, means only one plane is possible that can divide the body into two equal halves, and that will be separating our lateral sides. So that type of symmetry we call bilateral symmetry. So can be spherical, can be radial, can be bilateral. Now it should be clear, in the spherical I said any section, any plane passing through the center, Means maximum number of planes are possible with the spherical symmetry. When we say radial symmetry, the number of planes are now restricted, because any plane passing along the radius only that can divide the animal into two equal halves. Then when we say bilateral, it's only one plane. Only one plane can divide the animal into two equal halves. And in case the shape of the animal is irregular, then we'll say the animal body is asymmetrical. Means we can't divide the animal into two equal halves. Is that clear? So that's regarding the symmetry. Now, next is level of organization. What is the level of organization of the animal? Like we say, cellular level. Means the animal body is made up of cells only. Number of cells are present. Cells normally they get grouped together to form the tissues, and the tissue form the organ form the system form the organism. But here in this category, the organization is only up to the cells. Number of cells are present together, but they are not organized to form the tissue. So that's why we'll say it's a cellular level of organization. This type of organization we find in the sponges, the poriferans. They are having the cellular level of organization, means their body is made up of number of cells, but all the cells are working independently, in the sense that they are not having the tissue type of organization. Second level is tissue level of organization. Now here the cells have organized themselves into the tissue. So that's why we say tissue level of organization. That is in case of, we can say in case of cnidaria or the coelentrates. The examples can be like hydra, obelia, so that can be there. So that's a tissue level of organization. Then it can be the organ or organ system level of organization. So here the tissues will be organized to form the organs. Various types of organs will be there, and these organs will be forming the system. So that type of organization we call organ system level of organization, and that will be found with the most of the phyla of the Animalia, like we can say with the Annelida, with the Mollusca, all of them, even all the chordates. So they all will be having the organ system level of organization. With the level of organization, one more organization we say, that is acellular or protoplasmic level of organization. But should be clear, as far as this organization is concerned, I am using the term acellular. Means here the body of the animal consists of a cell only, single cell. So that means it should not be with the Animalia, it will be with the, like we can say in case of Protista, protozoans, like amoeba we can say. So they will be having the acellular, or we can say protoplasmic, because protoplasm is forming the cell. So that type of organization, protoplasmic, or we can say acellular level of organization. So that can be the various levels of organization. Next is regarding the germ layers. You know the germ layers. Basically there are three germ layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, these are the three germ layers. Now it depends whether all the three germ layers are present or only two are present. So depending upon that, we have two categories of the animals. Like the first is diploblastic. Diploblastic means having only two germ layers with them. Two germ layers means ectoderm is there, endoderm is there, mesoderm is absent. So which layer is absent? It is mesoderm. Mesoderm is absent. So having only two germ layers, that's diploblastic. So diploblastic will include, like, again, porifera, the sponges, cnidaria. So these are diploblastic. So these animals are having only two germ layers, that's ectoderm and endoderm only. The rest of the phyla or the rest of the animals, these will be included under triploblastic. Triplo means triple, means three, means all the three germ layers are present. So these will be having ectoderm, mesoderm as well as endoderm. So all the phyla except porifera, cnidaria, बाकी जितने भी phyla आएंगे, annelida, arthropoda, mollusca, वो सब, they will be all triploblastic. Is it clear? So on the basis of germ layers, the animals can be diploblastic, having only two germ layers, mesoderm will be absent, and otherwise they can be triploblastic. Clear? The next character that we can include is the body plan, means regarding the body makeup. So as per the body plan, the animals can be having cell aggregate body plan. Cell aggregate body plan means the animal body is made up of number of cells, and it is just aggregation of the cells. So cell aggregate means just the cells are being placed together. Like we can say, like a number of bricks, they are being used for the formation of a wall, and suppose there is no cementing there, तो वो सारी ईंटों का अगर हम एक एक ऊपर रखते हैं तो उस टाइप से जो वॉल बन जाएगा, उस टाइप का बॉडी प्लान कौन सा कहेंगे? दैट्स अ सेल एग्रीगेट बॉडी प्लान. It is just the group of the cells. This will be found in case of porifera. वही सेम sponges. तो sponges का जो body है, that's made up of number of cells together, and these cells can get separated from each other. Normally क्या होता है कि जैसे किसी sponge को हम लें and we press it on some muslin cloth के ऊपर रख के उसको मान लो प्रेस कर देते हैं, तो नीचे वाटर में क्या होगा, उसके सारे सेल्स अलग अलग हो जाएंगे इसके साथ में. एंड इफ वी कीप इट अनडिस्टर्ब फॉर सम टाइम, तो थोड़ी देर में क्या देखेंगे कि वो सारे सेल्स दोबारा से अपने आप को ऑर्गेनाइज करके दे विल अगेन फॉर्म द बॉडी. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ बॉडी प्लान वी कॉल एज द सेल एग्रीगेट बॉडी प्लान. इज दैट क्लियर? नेक्स्ट कैन बी the blind sac body plan. Blind sac body plan means the animal is having this type of body. We can say only one opening is there, and this is the opening for the entry of the food. This is the same opening responsible for the exit of the waste. Only one opening is present. So that's what this type of we call as a blind sac. Why we are calling it blind sac? Because here the sac-like structure is there, but it is blind on the other end. So this type of body plan we call as the blind sac body plan. And this type of body plan we find in case of cnidaria, in case of platyhelminths. So they are having blind sac type of body plan. Next can be tube in tube body plan. Tube in tube body plan means this is the body of the animal and this is its alimentary canal. So we can say now there are two tubes. One tube is the alimentary canal and second tube is the body of the animal itself. So on one side it will be having the mouth, on other side it will be having the anus. So all those animals which are having the complete alimentary canal starting from mouth up to the anus separately, that will be termed as having the body plan tube in tube. Now as far as this body plan is concerned, blind sac, here if the animal is having the alimentary canal, so it will be having a single opening and that will be acting as the mouth as well as anus. So that's a blind sac. But in case of tube in tube, the complete tube is present, separate mouth, separate anus. Then we say the body plan is tube in tube body plan. And this tube in tube body plan can further be of two types. It can be protostomous or it can be deuterostomous. Stomous from the stomium. Stomium means mouth. So proto means first, stomium means mouth, means out of mouth and anus. Mouth formation is first. First mouth. So mouth formation is first, that category we call protostomous. Deutero means second. Stomach means stomium, mouth. Second, mouth. It means mouth formation is second. That means anus formation is first. Actually, during the development, this condition, this stage develops during the development. I mean, the embryo is having an opening. That opening we call blastopore, and this cavity is called blastocele. So in case this blastopore develops into mouth, then this category will be under protostomous. And in case the blastopore develops into anus, means the anus formation is first and the mouth will develop separately later on. In that case, it will be termed as deuterostomous. So protostomous, that include like Annelida, Arthropoda. Deuterostomous, that will include the Echinodermata, Chordata. They will come with this. So that's clear. So that's regarding the body plan. The body plan can be cell aggregate, can be blind sac, or it can be tube in tube, and that tube in tube further can be of two category, can be protostomous or it can be deuterostomous, right? Next character,